Maserati was one of the earliest names in motor racing, with records that rivaled the likes of Mercedes and Auto Union. Its racing success peaked in the 1950s, whereupon Maserati focused on building luxury Grand Tourers. Many of its iconic designs are by Carrozzeria Touring, Bertone, Vignale, and Italdesign. Today, I briefly go over 10 classic Maserati vehicles that you will appreciate as an enthusiast. A6 was Maserati's first post-war series, with the 6 denoting the car's 2-liter inline-6 engine. The A6 GCS had cast-iron engine block, Giza, and was intended for racing, Corsa Sport. The A6 GCS 53 was bodied by several coach builders, with Pininfarina Berlinetta and Vignale Spider being the most loved. This will be the last design of a Maserati by Pininfarina until the Quattroporte I. The Type 101 3500 GT was the first mass-produced Maserati model and started the company's success in the luxury Grand Tourer market. As its name suggests, it was powered by an all-aluminum 3.5-liter inline-6 engine that featured dual ignition, dual fuel pumps, and either 3 twin-choke Weber carburetors or Lucas mechanical fuel injection. The latter option made it the first Italian road car with fuel injection. It was known as the 3500 GTI. Earlier cars were fitted with 4-speed manual transmission, which were upgraded to 5-speed in 1960. The 3500 GT Coupe was designed by Carrozzeria Touring, featuring the coach builder's patented superleggera construction. The 3500 GT Spider was designed by Vignale and had a more ordinary steel body. If you think the 3500 GT looked awfully close to the Aston Martin DB4, DB5 and DB6, this is no coincidence. The Astons were also the works of Carrozzeria Touring from the same period. The Type 103 5000 GT was a considerably more exclusive car built on the foundations of the 3500 GT. Initially, it was commissioned by the Shah of Iran, who demanded more power. The 4.9-liter dual-overhead cam V8 was based on the 4.5-liter V8 from the Tipo 54 Maserati 450S racing car. It featured Lucas mechanical fuel injection or 4 twin-choke Weber carburetors. Dual spark and dual fuel pumps were also used. The engine developed 325 horsepower, more than the Ferrari 250 of the day. Earlier cars were fitted with a 4-speed manual transmission, which was upgraded to 5-speed in 1960. Like the 3500 GT, the 5000 GT had a body designed by Carrozzeria Touring and used its superleggera construction. In 1959, the 5000 GT was sold at $17,000. Today, it remains one of the rarest and most exclusive Maserati road cars. The first generation Quattroporte, Type AM107, was the genesis of the super sedan and the spiritual progenitor of the likes of the BMW M5 and the Mercedes 300 SEL 6.3. However, it was also an exceptionally luxurious car with superb handling, at least for the day, a balance that the Germans cannot seem to grasp. The AM107 featured an all-aluminum 4.1-liter dual-overhead cam V8 that produced 260 horsepower. The engine featured inserted cast-iron wet cylinder liners, 32 angled valves, hemispherical combustion chambers, water-cooled intake manifold, and 4 twin-choke Weber carburetors. This V8 would power Maserati vehicles into the 80s. It was mated to a 5-speed manual transmission or an optional 3-speed automatic. From 1968, a 4.7-liter version with 286 horsepower was added, making it the fastest sedan in the world. The body was designed by Pietro Frua but built by Vignale. The Type AM 109 Mistral was the successor to the 3500 GT, though it was a two-seater. The 2+2 model sold alongside was the Supreme. The Mistral was powered by the final iteration of Maserati's classic twin-spark dual overhead cam inline-six engine on which the company's racing success in the 1950s was built. Eventually, it displaced 4 liters and was paired with a 5-speed manual transmission. This gorgeous GT was designed by Pietro Frua like the Quattroporte. Naturally, a Spider version was also built. The Type AM 112 Mexico was a 4-seat coupe based on the AM 107 Quattroporte, whose chassis was shortened by 11 centimeters. The Mexico was originally powered by the 4.7-liter V8 found in the Series 2 AM 107 Quattroporte. In 1969, the newer, smaller 4.2-liter V8 was made available as a cheaper option. The Mexico was unique in its combination of exceptionally luxurious interior, Grand Tourer form factor, and seating for 4 adults. It was designed by Vignale. The Type AM 115 Ghibli was the successor to the 5000 GT that also replaced the Mistral. It was powered by an evolution of the Tipo AM 107 V8, now typed AM 115. It features dry sump lubrication and 4 twin-choke Weber carburetors. The standard Ghibli displaced 4.7 liters, while the Ghibli SS had the stroked variant of the V8 that displaced 4.9 liters. 5-speed manual was standard, while 3-speed automatic was optional. The AM 115 Ghibli was designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro at Ghia, right before he started Idao Design. The car's fastback profile and the pop-up headlights clearly influenced the design of the Ferrari Daytona. Naturally, an open-top Ghibli Spider was also made. The Type AM 117 Bora was Maserati's first mid-engine sports car. It was introduced after Lamborghini had introduced the Miura, which started the mid-engine sports car rage in 1966. It used essentially the same 4.7 and 4.9-liter engines from the Ghibli, mounted longitudinally. A 5-speed manual transaxle was used. The Bora was designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro at Idao Design. It featured an iconic wedge shape and pop-up headlights. Unlike most mid-engine sports cars, the Bora was also a luxurious vehicle with a focus on comfort as well as performance. The Bora was the first Maserati to feature 4-wheel independent suspension. The Type AM 120 Khamsin was the successor to the Ghibli, inheriting the latter's 4.9-liter AM 115 V8. It had a 5-speed manual transmission as standard, with 3-speed automatic as an option. A markedly smaller car, the Khamsin's rear seats were not really useful. The Khamsin has an even more wedgy design than the Ghibli and the Bora. This was the work of Marcello Gandini at Bertone. As the oil crisis hit large displacement luxury vehicles particularly hard, and as Lamborghini became established as a competitor, the Khamsin marked the end of an era for Maserati. In 1999, Ferrari took control of Maserati, its longtime rival. A new lineup with more compelling vehicles appeared, notably the 3200 GT and the Quattroporte 4 Evoluzione with the 3.2-liter AM 578 biturbo V8. The most iconic and collectible Maserati of this renaissance is undoubtedly the Type M144S MC12. Essentially a more exclusive variant of the Ferrari Enzo, the MC12 is the true successor to the Bora of the 1970s. It features gear-driven Ferrari F140 V12 engine paired to a 6-speed automated manual transaxle.